Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Well, there are 12 people in the class, and let me just call the roll. I need to save the name of the students. Good. Well, um, actually, in previous sessions, we talked about academic writing, we talked about the paragraphs, we talked about the paragraph structure, essay structure, and we learned that most paragraphs and an essay have three part structure. There are introduction, body, and conclusion. Uh, but beside this, we have some other features such as coherence, and you learn that in a coherent paragraph, each sentence relates clearly to the topic sentence and controlling idea, but there is more to coherence than this. Actually, if a paragraph is coherent, each sentence flows smoothly into the next without obvious shifts and jumps. So, this shows that the sentences are logically related to each other and there is no bumps. So, a coherent paragraph also highlights the ties between the old and new information to make the structure of the ideas and arguments clear to the reader. And along with the smooth flow of the sentences, a paragraph's coherence may also be related to its length. So this is again another important factor. When you're writing, you should be very careful. If you have written a very long paragraph, one that actually fills a double space type page, okay, so there is a chance of losing the coherence if you are not careful to see if it contains more than one controlling idea. So it is very important to see how the ideas in the supporting sentences or the body part of the paragraph verify the point we had. And I think the most important sentence in the paragraph, which is the topic sentence. Well, uh, let me just ask a volunteer to just give me a definition of the paragraph. I already talked about the definition of the paragraph. This is just warming up the class because we have talked about the structure, we defined the paragraph. Then today we are just going to see how we can conclude a paragraph because I believe that a big finish shows you gave the essay thought. So it is very important to see how we are supposed to end it. But before that, I just want once more one of the students to turn on the mic and tell me about the paragraph, how we can define a paragraph. What is a paragraph?
Actually, a distinct
Me,
section of piece of
Okay.
writing, usually
Mehdi.
dealing
One
with
by
single
one,
theme.
Mahdi comes first, Shadi second, but this time the ladies are not first, okay? The gentleman, please. Okay, Mahdi, go on.
I think ladies are first, but
Yeah,
I'm
they're
sorry.
they're always first, but in this case, uh, uh, you were lucky and you just turned on your mic earlier. Okay, go on.
A distinct, I think it is the distinct section of a piece of writing, usually dealing with a single theme, or actually I can say indicated by a new line.
Good. So, do we define the paragraph in terms of the actually length or appearance?
Uh, actually, I didn't get
Do
this.
do we define the paragraph in terms of length or its length or appearance.
I think it's length.
No.
Sorry, may I
Yeah.
say?
Yeah, please.
No?
Actually, the
And
length is not that much important. So a paragraph can be as short as one or two sentences, or as long as like 10 lines.
Okay.
But so the length is not important to distinguish if actually a part of a writing is a paragraph or not. But it has a distinct theme.
Very good. So actually, the number of the sentences or line does not determine a paragraph. What is important is coherence and unity in a paragraph. So, as your friend
It
defined it
means that
correct.
the whole paragraph.
Mhm. Go
Sorry for
on.
the interruption. It means that the whole paragraph should define one specific topic or idea.
That's true, and that is the
If I'm
unity of the paragraph. Actually, a paragraph is a series of sentences that are organized and coherent. Okay, and they are all related to a single topic. If they're not related to a single topic, so that paragraph is good for garbage because uh, it cannot actually uh, uh, mm, be unified. And unity of the paragraph is one of the most important features of the paragraph. Almost every piece of writing you do um, that is longer than a few sentences should be organized into the paragraphs. Okay, so this is the most important thing when we are writing, and uh, uh, if it is disorganized, so this will be a messy piece of passage. So we expect to have an organized piece of writing, and this is because the paragraphs show to our readers where the subdivisions of an essay begin and end, and thus this help the reader actually see the organization of the essay and grasp its main points. One of the most important uh, actually features of any paragraph is topic sentence. Mahshid, can you tell me about the topic sentence? What is a topic sentence? In a
uh,
well organized paragraph, we need something, and that is topic sentence. So, what is it?
uh, I guess the topic sentence. The actually the main point of each paragraph
Main
is a
idea.
topic sentence. Yeah, the main idea. Yeah,
Very
and
good.
also it must be the beginning of a paragraph, if I'm not mistaken.
Uh,
The first sentence of a paragraph can be the topic sentence. So I mean the rest of the sentences can define it in detail.
Very good. Well,
may I say something?
Can I
yes,
say?
yes.
There is an
This time,
important
Shadi,
thing.
please, nobody. Yeah, it is your turn, Shadi. Go on.
There is a most important thing for topic sentence, and it is that it should grab the reader.
Very
It
good.
should be attractive
Uh-huh.
and attract the people that he or she read it.
That's true. Actually, a well-organized paragraph supports or develops a single controlling idea, which is expressed in a sentence called topic sentence. Okay, the topic sentence is the whole paragraph boiled down into the single sentence, and uh, it is your claim. It shows your stance. It shows actually the point you want to make. So there is a controlling idea or limiting idea part in a topic sentence. And actually, a topic sentence has several important functions. It substantiates or supports an essay's thesis statement. This is the first and most important thing because last session we talked about the thesis statement, and that was the most important sentence in the whole essay. And a topic sentence is the most important sentence in a paragraph, and it, as I told you, substantiates or supports an essay's thesis statement. It unifies the content of a paragraph and directs the order of the sentences. So it is very important to know how to write it. And actually, as Mahshid said, sometimes we expect to see the topic sentence at the beginning of actually uh, the paragraph. Is there any reason for that?
Yes.
Why it is
Some
often
writer
best to put the topic sentence at
actually
the very
topic
beginning of the
sentence
paragraph?
topic sentence can't be hidden, but some writers choose it in the beginning of the paragraph because it's clear for the reader and it gives them the idea of the paragraph, what it is about.
Okay, that's true. Actually, Shadi, our readers generally look to the very first few sentences in our paragraphs to determine the subject and perspective of our paragraph. Okay, to determine the writer's intention, to determine the stance of the writer, and that is why it is often best to put this topic sentence at the very beginning of the paragraph. But as you said, sometimes it is implied, it is hidden. There is no topic sentence. So this is one way. But in academic writing, we want to communicate everything clearly. Okay, so we don't want to confuse our readers, and that is why it is more effective to place actually it at the beginning of your paragraph. But this is not a word of God because sometimes we see uh, another sentence comes before the topic sentence. Okay, so and this is a lead-in and a sentence linking the current paragraph to the previous one, and one providing a background information, which we call it lead-in. So the lead-in comes first, and then we have the topic sentence. Sometimes it is in the form of the rhetorical question. Topic sentence shows our opinion, so it should be, because it shows the focus or stance of the writer. Um, um, it should be in the form of statement rather than in the form of a question. So we never start the paragraph with a question. If we start with a question, this question is a lead-in and it is a rhetorical question, and the answer to this question can be our topic sentence. Well, very good. So you know about the
Excuse me,
paragraph
sir.
structure. Uh, uh, Actually, the paragraphs uh, in an essay, we had the introduction paragraph, and the introduction paragraph started with the general statement. We move from something which is known to something which is specific and unknown. So, and that leads to our thesis statement and that stands the argument we have in our whole passage. Then we have the body paragraphs, and each body paragraph has its own structure, but as you see, it is all linear. It has the beginning, the midpoint, and the ending point. So we have introduction, the first section of the paragraph is the introduction, and it should include the topic sentence and sometimes any other sentences at the beginning of the paragraph that gives background information or provide transition. Okay, so we call it lead-in. Then we have the body part or the supportive sentences, and these supportive sentences actually uh, discusses the uh, actually follows this. I mean, the body part or supportive sentences follow the introduction and it discussed the controlling idea. So in order to verify the controlling idea in the topic sentence, we sometimes try to use facts, some arguments, analysis, examples, informations, explanations, statistics. So as you already said in previous sessions, if I'm not mistaken, Shadi said that my actually uh, BA instructor just talked about Texas, and this Texas is an acronym for thesis, topic sentence, example, uh, explanation, A, analysis, and then S stands for the summary, which summarizes everything. So this is the way your professor uh, actually help you to remember how to develop. But this is not a word of God. You can develop your um, paragraph in any way you wish using different uh, techniques. But the most important thing is the unity and coherence, okay? So you can just bring the facts, reasons, explanation, examples. So they are different ways to elaborate and verify your topic sentence. And then we have the conclusion and the final section, which summarizes the connections between the information discussed in the body of the paragraph and the paragraph's controlling idea. So this is very important because I believe that the big finish shows you gave the essay or your passage a big thought. Today we are just going to first talk about concluding paragraph. You know how to write your body paragraphs, but many of the students have difficulty in writing the concluding paragraph. Then, if the time allows, we will move to the process analysis type of the paragraph today, and then we will see how we are uh, actually using or utilizing our knowledge we so far studied and develop a process analysis essay. Well, actually, writing is thinking on paper. So if you do not have a actually, this shows that the writing is a process. Okay, if you don't think before putting your pen on the paper, uh, you will have some disorganized uh, passage. So you remember we talked about the introductory paragraph, and it begins with attention grabber or opening, and this is general statement. It states something which is known to everybody. Then we use some background information to link this attention grabber or hook to a part which is strong, clear thesis statement. And that is the claim, that is the point you want to make in your writing. This is what we already studied. So as you see, it is like inverted triangle or funnel. So it begins with one or two sentences, and we call it attention grabber. And this makes the reader want to read because it is interesting. It is something which is a statement, and that statement is again in form of opinion rather than a fact. Okay, it's not a fact, it's an opinion, and it makes the reader want to read one of the following series of the questions. So, in attention grabber, we can just use a question, we can just use anecdote, we can just uh, startle our reader by unusual fact, figure, quotation, statistic, definition of the subject, and relate them to the thesis statement. So these are the strategies for writing our attention grabber or the general statement, and present a topic plus the background information. So the attention grabber should have this background information, and then this will lead into something which we call a thesis statement. And a thesis statement is more specific, and it actually conveys our feelings and attitudes. It is, again, our opinion, it's not a fact. And thesis statement focus is the focus of essay. As I told you, it is a sentence. Actually, it is the whole essay boils down into a single sentence. So in this thesis statement, you tell to the reader what you want to tell. So uh, this is uh, the way we write the introductory paragraph. So there are some actually blueprints. So again, this will clarify what are the points we want to tell, and then some transitional word to link us to the paragraphs, the body paragraphs. The main body paragraph structure, we talked about it in detail right now. Each supporting paragraph should be structured like a topic sentence, and that states the point of the paragraph to come. So this is the point you make. This is your stance. This is the focus of you. So the controlling idea of the topic sentence just tells something about the topic. So when you're writing a topic sentence, try to use the topic or the prompt as the subject of your thesis statement, your topic sentence, I'm sorry, and then in the predicate, you try to show or state your point or your focus, your attitude, your stance towards that topic. So this is called topic sentence and how we can write it. There are many actually features related to this one. I will just introduce some books. Please go through the books and study them so you will learn them, because this term, it is a very intense term, and we don't have too much time to elaborate everything. That is why I will skip some part of it, and then we will go to or move to most important features of this term, and we will learn how to develop scholarly uh, writings. Okay, so 2 sessions from now, you will see the first lesson related to structure of the uh, scholarly writing. Well, then we have some supporting evidence, and these evidence verify the point we made in the topic sentence, and actually, it include course material to the support the opening sentence. Let's say this way, and the last sentence is called clincher or concluding sentence, and it draws the conclusion based on the evidence and tells how this supports the point in the opening sentence. So you will see all of them in examples. A paragraph has a topic sentence. I told you it begins the paragraph, but the way we write in actually uh, academic writing is quite clear, and that is why we know that readers generally look to the very first few sentences in our paragraphs to determine the perspective of our paragraph, to determine the subject of our paragraph, and that is why it is often best to put the topic sentence at the very beginning of the paragraph. So in some cases, however, it is more effective to place, as I told you, another sentence before the topic sentence, and that is called leading. So when you want to do the reading comprehension, a good reader is a good actually, if you know how to write, you will know how to read the paragraph as well, so you see the structure. So in reading comprehension, I highly recommend you to read the very first two sentences, okay, because there is a chance of having a lead in, unless the you can just get the message from the very first sentence. So it begins the paragraph. This is the place for academic writing, but sometimes it is implied. There is no topic sentence in the introduction paragraph. Sometimes it is the last sentence in the actually introduction paragraph. Okay, so or in the let's say in the in the first body paragraph. So this shows that
Excuse me,
by
sir.
yeah.
Sorry because of interruption. I have two questions. May I ask now or later? I don't know.
Yeah, you can just raise your questions.
Okay. I want to know about the conclude sentence in the body paragraph. It should restate the topic sentence. It should get to the topic sentence. Am I right or
That is
not?
one way to actually conclude our paragraph. That is one way. It is recursive. It just takes us back. It returns to the topic sentence, so we can paraphrase the topic sentence or restate it. So this is one way. You tell what has already been told. Okay, so this is one way, but sometimes we try to summarize the actually the ideas, and this final section summarizes the connections between the information discussed in our body part of let's say paragraph and the paragraph's concluding ideas. So there is a vertical connection uh, actually from the controlling idea to every single sentence in the body paragraph. And there is a horizontal connection between the sentences. So from one sentence to another sentence, we move smoothly from one sentence to another sentence. So this shows that we have a coherence. Otherwise, if we just look at it vertically, we will see every single sentence is logically related to the controlling idea of the topic sentence. So this shows the unity of the paragraph. So, as you said, it is possible to write the clincher or concluding section by restating the topic sentence, but this is not the only way to write our clincher. So, a good topic sentence uses active voice and it is clearly written, and the syntax or the sentence structure is not too complex. Okay, so you just put your topic in the subject and then you can just show your stance uh, toward the subject. This is the easiest way to write your topic sentence. But there are different ways, and I will give you some references to see how to write your, let's say, topic sentence. So I think I talked about the topic sentence. I told you a well organized paragraph supports and develops a single controlling idea which is expressed in a sentence which is called topic sentence. But this topic sentence is somehow different from the thesis statement, and let's see what are the differences. A topic sentence introduces the main idea of the paragraph. This is the point you make in a paragraph. So you have to verify this point and with some supporting sentences. Okay. So in a single paragraph, we have one main idea, or that is the gist of the paragraph. But a thesis statement contains the argument of the entire essay. So there is, as I told you, a logical connection between the topic sentence and the thesis statement. So a topic sentence has several important functions. First of all, it substantiates or supports an essay's thesis statement. So there is a logical connection between the sub points or the blueprint of the or the stance part of our actually thesis statement and our topic sentence. So a topic sentence, uh, as I told you, supports an essay's thesis statement. The other function of the thesis statement is, I'm sorry, the topic sentence is to identify the content of the paragraph and direct the order of the sentences. So based on the topic sentence, we can uh, understand that what is in the body part. So what we will see in the body part or how the sentences in the body part will verify the point in the topic sentence. And actually this unifies the content of the paragraph, and this is the most important feature of any paragraph, and that is the unity. And if the paragraph lacks unity, it is good for garbage. If the paragraph lacks coherence, again, it is good for garbage. That is why um, we highly recommend you to write your um, topic sentences in a way that it advises the reader uh, actually of the subject to be discussed and how the paragraph will discuss it. So this is the whole actually function of the uh, topic sentence. Many times I try to talk about the coherence, and I told you coherence uh, um, uh, is one of the important features in paragraph development. In a coherent paragraph, each sentence relates clearly to the topic sentence or controlling idea, but there is more to the coherence than this. ببینید یک رابطه منطقی بین هر جمله با جمله قبلی و بعدیش هست و همچنین یک رابطه با اون controlling idea هستش. باید اون logical connection باشه. If the paragraph is coherent, each sentence flows smoothly into the next without obvious shifts and jumps. So we just move smoothly from one sentence to another sentence if we have coherence. Otherwise, if it lacks coherence, the paragraph is good for garbage. So actually, along with the smooth flow of the sentences, a paragraph's coherence may also be related to its length. Remember, lengthy paragraphs may have more than one point, and this is very dangerous. In order to maintain the unity and the coherence, remember a number of the techniques are used when you, especially when you are writing the body part of your paragraph, and you want to establish coherence in our paragraph. You have to remember to repeat the keywords or phrases. So repeating the keywords or phrases can help you to actually especially this happens and when you define or identify an important idea or theory, and you want to be consistent in how you refer to that idea. So this consistency or repetition will bind the paragraphs together and help the reader understand your definition or description. So this is one of the ways to maintain the coherence. Sometimes we create parallel structure, so this again can contribute to uh, uh, actually the coherence of the paragraph. And as I told you, consistency is very important. So we have to be consistent in point of view and verb tense and number. So these are again very important when you are writing. So we were talking about the topic sentence and thesis statement. We talked about the features of the thesis statement and last session, and this session we talked about the features of topic sentence. And the most important difference is a thesis statement contains the argument of the entire essay. So what does the conclusion do? The conclusion is the last paragraph. These are the actually the different functions of the concluding paragraph. Uh, Irfan, will you please help me to read this part?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go on, please.
Okay. What does the conclusion do? 1. It summarizes the essay.
It
2.
summarizes the
It
whole
shows you
essay. So
proved the
I do apologize for interruption. It summarizes the whole essay. So when you have different body paragraphs, so the gist of each paragraph comes in the conclusion part. Okay, go on. It shows. Go on. Irfan?
Yes, sir. I get muted and unmuted constantly. Can you hear me now?
Yes, please go on.
Is my voice clear?
Yes.
Okay, sure. Number 2, it shows you proved the point you set out to make.
Okay, it shows you prove the point. So if there is a point you make in the topic sentence, here you should show that if there is a problem, if there is a question, you have answered that question here. Okay, so you should prove the point you set out to make. Again, another way to conclude the paragraph, how to clinch it. Go on. It gives.
Number 3, it gives the reader a sense of completion.
Very good. And the last one. So when you're writing the
And the last one?
concluding sentence, it doesn't mean that you have to write something new. Okay? So they are different types of concluding paragraphs. Okay? Sometimes we restate the main points. Sometimes we actually discuss what should happen next. So this depends on the topic. We might sometimes suggest about what the future may bring or suggest that the reader could seek even further information. So it's a kind of suggestions for action. By adding some suggestion for action, so we can conclude our paragraph. Sometimes we raise a question. So if actually we want to our reader to think about something and we ask a question, so this way is possible. Sometimes we have some personal comment or anecdote, and this is another technique, but it can be very effective a technique for writing a conclusion or concluding sentence. If it was used earlier, the anecdote or the personal comment. Um, so in our writing, so we can just reward it and bring it here. Perhaps best of all is the technique of completing the comment and anecdote at the end of the essay if you want to write an essay, especially a kind of narrative essay. Sometimes it is cyclic return, as Shadi said. We just move to the initial part, and this cyclic return performs the function of returning to the beginning of the cycle. So it is recursive. So the essay writer reminds the reader where this particular journey started. Okay, so this way again, we can uh, uh, end our uh, uh, sentence or paragraph. Okay, go on. It leaves.
And the last one, it leaves the reader remembering your main points.
Very good. So,
Thank
go
you.
on, please.
Wait, that sounds kind of like the introduction. So what is the difference between the introductory paragraph and the concluding paragraph?
So the
The
features
difference is in
we
the
already studied. You read them. So it reminds us to the functions of the topic sentence. So uh, how we are going to, I mean, to the introductory paragraph, let's say, if it is in the form of the concluding paragraph. In the introductory paragraph, we started from something general, we end in something specific, but here we start from something specific and end in something which is, let's say, uh, general, or a prediction, or a warning, or hope, or a future action, suggestion for future action. So the difference is in the approach to the topic. Let's see how we can approach to the topic. Look, this is the structure of any essay. We have the introduction paragraph, three body paragraphs, then conclusion paragraph. In the introduction paragraph, we start from general and we end in something which is specific. And in the specific part, we have the thesis statement. This is the argument you make for entire essay. Then we have the body paragraphs, and the most important line in each body paragraph is a topic sentence, and this is the point or claim which actually uh, proves the thesis statement. And then we start from something which is specific and we end in something which is general. This is the whole structure. Okay, go on. Think of
Think of these two paragraphs as funnels, one leading toward the body of your essay, while the other leads the reader away from the body. The introduction begins with a general approach to the topic and then moves toward the more specific aspects of it.
conclusion.
The conclusion begins with the more specific aspects and moves toward the general topic of your essay.
Thank you. What main point did you want to make in your essay? What is the main point? Okay. Did you make that point? These are the questions you have to ask to these are the checklist questions. Did you make that point? Did you summarize it in your conclusion? Often you can use the introductory paragraph as a guide. So that is why when you are writing, you have to this actually cyclic return to the introduction will lead us to the main points which are stated in the thesis statement. So this is very important. This will help us actually come full circle and give our reader a sense of completion? Well, go on. Perhaps you began. Go on.
Perhaps you began your essay by saying, there are these classes at school that I absolutely cannot wait to go to every day.
Okay,
Then you might... Should I continue, sir?
please.
Sure. Then you might make this the first sentence of your conclusion. Gym, math, and art are the three classes I look forward to the most.
Very
Do
good.
you see how the first is more general and the last is more specific?
Okay, because it says there are three classes at a school that I absolutely at that I absolutely cannot wait to go to every day. Okay, so this is general. Then we have some examples of this. Gym, math, art are the three classes I look forward to the most. Okay, so do you see how the first is more general and the last is more specific? So as you see, the second one tells us the examples or illustrates the number of the classes. So this way you just move from general to specific. Go on. Other ways to summarize the essay's main point. Go on.
Refer briefly to the topic. Refer briefly to the topic of each paragraph you wrote. Leave readers with something to think about. Suggest something readers can do about what they have just read.
Okay, so this is another way to summarize the essay's main point. Main point. So, Shadi, so there is actually no single solution for writing the concluding part. So, if you restate the topic sentence and you write your clincher, this is one way, but there are different ways to do this. If it is a concluding paragraph, again, you can just refer briefly to the topic of each paragraph. Okay? Leave the reader with something to think about them and suggest something reader can do about what they have read, just read. So when you write the gist of the three body paragraphs, I mean the topic sentences of three body paragraphs, and then you leave the reader with something to think about. So it's now time to say, so what? And the answer to this so what suggests something the readers can do about what they have just read. Okay? How to structure the final paragraph? Go on.
1. Topic sentence. Repeat the ideas in your thesis statement, but with deeper understanding. Number 2. Supporting sentences. Summarize the main points in the body of your essay. And number 3. Closing sentence. Connect back to the introduction to clinch the ideas in the essay, showing the importance.
Very good. Go on. What if a new idea tries to sneak into that final paragraph? Okay, thank you so much, Irfan.
Now I can see it.
Okay,
I can see it now.
that's enough. Thank you. Let me other students to join us.
My pleasure, sir.
Thank you so much. Let me ask خانم سپیده بهرامی نژاد. سپیده?
Yes, yes. Hi.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Well,
Okay, what if a new idea tries to sneak into that final paragraph? If it's really important, give it a paragraph of its own in the body of the essay.
Mhm.
A concluding paragraph is not the place to introduce new information or make more points about
Okay,
topic.
so this is one of the major errors of writing. To actually, we should just give the sense of completion when you introduce something new. So this paragraph lacks something. Okay, so the concluding paragraph is not a place to introduce new information and make more points about the topic. So then we have so what tip for writing an effective conclusion. When you leave the reader to think about something, so the reader will say, so what? And the answer to this so what is our next sentence. Go on, which will explain why we ask ourselves again, so what? And why is it important? Go on, please.
Okay, from the top.
Yeah.
The so what tip for writing an effective conclusion. After writing your topic sentence, ask yourself, so what? Why is that important? Your next sentence should explain why. Then ask yourself again, so what? Why is that important?
And
And so
so
on.
on. So again, this is very good method to uh, answer this part. So example of so what method of starting the concluding paragraph. Okay, let's see.
Okay.
Education is
Education is very important in society.
okay.
So
This is
what?
an
Why
opinion.
is it
This is an
important?
opinion. This is not a fact. For many people, education is not very important. They prefer to do the business rather than educate themselves. Okay, so education is very important. This is my idea, but it's not always true. For many people, this is not true. That is why it's an opinion, and it's a good opinion. Okay, so what? Why is it important? The answer to this, so what, can help me to write my concluding paragraph and elaborate. It gives all citizens an equal start. Again, so what? Why is it important? Can you write an answer? It gives all students an equal start. So what? که چی بشه؟ که چی بشه؟ که چی بشه؟ همش که چی بشه؟ So if you just answer these questions, you can just end up with this is one method of writing the concluding paragraph. So strategies for ending the concluding paragraph. Go on, please, Sabida. Number one, perhaps.
Okay, number one, perhaps add a quotation or surprising insight from the materials you research.
So this is very
Number
important.
okay,
Quotation
number
from this is a surprising insight or quotation from the findings of the research, and then we just include this, and we have to use the actually the in-text citation. We have to cite because this idea is not ours. When you are quoting from someone else, and if you do not cite it, you have practiced plagiarism. So this is very important to actually introduce uh, an idea from others and then uh, cite it. Okay? Suggest some action. Go on.
suggest some action to take or a solution to an issue.
If
Number
it is a problem, if there is a problem and you want to offer a solution to that problem, so this is a good place. So the solution to the problem comes here. What
okay,
else?
number three, bring up questions for further study.
This question actually calls for action. Okay, so the answer for this question, so this question can be a thought-provoking question. So this will call for action. This is actually uh, it creates ideas for further studies. Okay, go on. Point out.
Number four, point out broader consequences of the points you have made.
That's another way to end. Let's end with a prediction or recommendation. This is a prediction or recommendation. Thank you, Shadi. Thank you, Sepide. Let's ask Fatime, خانم فاطمه جلیلی نیا.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good afternoon, Fatima.
Thank you. Good afternoon to you too.
Is it raining in your neighborhood?
No.
Is it
I
snowing?
think it stopped raining. No.
Okay. Is it
Not
sunny?
here. No, it's cloudy. Definitely cloudy.
Okay, it's cloudy. Well,
Yeah.
go on, please.
End with a prediction or recommendation. If people stopped to think before acquiring pets, there would be fewer instances of cruelty to animals. Many times it is possible, it is people who adopt pets without considering the expense and responsibility involved who mistreat and neglect their animals. Pets are living creatures. They do not deserve to be treated as carelessly as one would treat a stuffed toy.
Okay. They do not deserve. This is a prediction and this is a recommendation. They do not deserve to be treated as carelessly as one would treat a stuffed toy. Okay, so as you see, we started from something which is specific and we came to something which is general. So it is uh, funnel like, and so we started with something with which is specific, and then we ended with something which is in the form of prediction or recommendation. How to write a good conclusion? Go on, please.
Create a new meaning. You don't have to give new information to create a new meaning. By demonstrating how your ideas work together, you can create a new picture. Often, the sum of the paper is worth more than its parts.
The sum of paper is worth more than its parts. This is very important message. Okay, synthesize, do not summarize. This is again very important when you are developing your proposals. You have to synthesize rather than summarize. Go on, don't simplify. Go on, don't simply.
Don't simply repeat things that were in your paper. They have read it. Show them how the points you made and the support and examples you used were not random but fit together.
Very good. So you remember the first sessions we talked about the layout of an essay. We started in the introduction paragraph with what you want to tell, then you tell, then in the concluding paragraph, you have this part which retell what has already been told. So this is the simplistic form of writing. In that case, you have to summarize the ideas. But if you synthesize, it will be even more important how to write a good conclusion. Good is actually a vague adjective. I don't like the word good. I prefer to write effective, okay, rather than good. So when you just repeat the things that you have already mentioned and summarize them, so you do not add the significance here. So they have already read what you have put in your writing. So we have to show them how the points uh, you made and then support and examples used were not random but fit together. Let's move to the next part. Read this part. Redirect your
How
readers.
to write? Yeah. Redirect your readers. Give your readers something to think about, perhaps a way to use your paper in the real world.
Uh-huh.
If your introduction went from general to specific, make your conclusion go from specific to general. Think globally.
Okay. What else?
How to write a good conclusion. Answer the question, so what? Show your readers why this paper was important. Show them that your paper was meaningful and useful.
Okay. So
The
what tells the
conclusion,
answer why it is important? So what? Because it is important. Because of this, it is important. So a conclusion should.
should stress the importance of the thesis statement, give the essay a sense of completeness, and leave a final impression on the reader.
Very good. A final impression. Will you please speak up this part?
Yeah. Your conclusion is your chance to have the last word on the subject. The conclusion allows you to have the final say on the issues you have raised in your paper, to summarize your thoughts, to demonstrate the importance, to propel your reader to a new view of the subject. It is also your opportunity to make a good final impression and to end on a positive note.
Very good. What to look for when you proofread? So this is actually part of mm, proofreading. So far is so good for this part. Let me go to the next. Mm, process essay. Let me choose this one. Okay. So if time allows, we will just cover process analysis essay, and from this week you will have your assignments, and I will ask you to write your process analysis. But again, before starting this part, I just call your attention to the types of the concluding paragraphs, and then a couple of slides, and then we will move to the process analysis type of writing. Uh, thank you so much, Fatima. Let me ask
Pleasure.
خانم محشید. محشید, will you?
Yes, sure.
Go on, please.
Types of concluding paragraphs. Number one, restating the main points. Restate the key ideas but choose different wording. The challenge is to say the same thing but not the same way. Number two, the future. Suggestions for action. Discuss what should happen next. Depending on the topic, you might do some guessing about what the future may bring or suggest that the reader could seek even further information. Number three, questions. Whether or not questions were used in the introduction, they can be used in the conclusion. If they were used, more can be asked. If they were not used to start, the end is a perfect time.
Very good. What else?
Number four, personal comments or anecdotes. If this technique wasn't used in the introductory paragraph, it makes an effective conclusion. If it was used earlier, it can be rewarded. Perhaps best of all is the technique of completing the comment or anecdote at the end of the essay. Number five, a cyclic return. The cyclic return performs the function of returning to the beginning of the cycle. The essay writer reminds the reader where this particular journey began. The main points may be restated. Question answer. A story begun may be finished. A quote given may be followed up with a comment.
A quote given.
A quote given. Yes, sorry.
May be followed with a comment.
Number six, include a thought-provoking quotation. A well-chosen quotation can be effective in re-emphasizing your points. Number with a prediction or recommendation. Predictions and recommendations appeal to the reader to continue thinking about the essay. A prediction states what may happen in the future. A recommendation suggests what should be done about a situation or problem.
Very good. So these are the strategies for ending our essay. So this is an example. Include a thought-provoking quote, a quote from someone who is in a key figure, okay? Someone who is very famous, well-known person. Go on, please. Rude behavior.
Rude behavior has become commonplace and needs to stop. People no
Okay,
longer treat
look,
each
this
other.
is a statement, and this is not a fact. This is your opinion. We start from something specific. Rude behavior is the topic or the subject of the essay, and we want to talk about this. And this is your stance. Has become commonplace and needs to stop. So we have to stop the rude behavior. Then we move from this specific to something which is more general. Okay, so people no longer treat each other with the respect and courtesy they should. So as you see, this is an example, or it exemplifies what we already said, and that is the reason why we need to stop. When you say it needs to stop, you say why. So the answer to this part is the people know, because the people no longer treat each other with the respect and courtesy they should. People talk on their cell phones and at inappropriate times and places. This is an exemplification. Okay, so it exemplifies the particular situation. Cutting off other drivers cutting off other drivers in order to save mere seconds happens more and more often. So when you're driving, you see that someone is just pulling through or coming through and cutting off your way. So these are the examples, two exemplifications for how the people are behaving rudely. So this is a thought-provoking quotation. So as Dalai Lama said, within the quotation mark, this is a direct quotation. So we have cited. So at Dalai Lama said. So this is the citation. In APA, we need to actually refer to date of publication or when he said this or he wrote this. So, as the Dalai Lama said, love and kindness are the very basis of society. If we lose these feelings, society will face tremendous difficulties. The survival of the humanity will be endangered. So, we end or conclude this um, actually ending paragraph or the last paragraph with a thought-provoking uh, quotation.